Good morning. I'm Judge Amy Carter. This is Courtroom 1, Session 1. Could I have the attorneys place their appearances on the record, please?
Coffee Kennedy Swanson on behalf of the Office of the State Attorney.
Brian Wynn on behalf of the Office of Public Defender.
Thank you.
Speaking to this mic, all right.
Sir, good morning. Your name?
Leon O'Hara.
Mr. O'Hara, you are here for an out-of-county warrant from Seminole County for battery domestic violence. Your bond is $2,000, sir. If you're unable to post the bond, Seminole County will come pick you up, and you'll see a judge when you get to Seminole County, sir.
When they come get me?
They have 20, they'll be here probably on Monday, okay?
Ma'am? I didn't
Monday.
hear you.
Monday. She
Oh,
said Monday.
okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Samantha Delaney refused drawing.
Okay. 18 CF 18268, Samantha Delaney, finding a waiver for her refusal to come to court. She was arrested for failing to appear for pretrial conference on April 30th of 2019. Her bond is set at none, and I'll appoint the public defender if they weren't previously appointed. Sir, good morning. Your name?
My name is Peter Greenwood.
Mr. Greenwood, you are here in case number 19 CF 7815. You were arrested for aggravated battery. Sir, did you want to hire a lawyer, or you need to see if you qualify for the public defender?
I guess, yes, ma'am. I'm on disability right now. I'm in the middle of cancer.
Okay.
Not doing well.
All right, sir. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Mr. Wynn, you had an argument?
Yeah, with regard to the aggravated battery, with regard to the aggravated factor with the facts, I didn't think that the paint can amounted to push the charge up to an aggravated the aggravated level. Again, it doesn't tell you the weight of the paint can, if it was filled, if it wasn't filled. It was tossed over the fence, which would indicate that, given his strength level, it wasn't probably too heavy, or possibly pushed over the fence, and that there was no risk of great bodily injury.
So you don't think it was a deadly weapon?
And I don't think it was a deadly weapon, Your Honor.
State.
I think that a paint can, whether it has paint in it or not, thrown in the middle of an argument is a deadly weapon.
I do find probable cause for the aggravated battery, but I'll take your argument into consideration, Mr. Wynn, when setting bond, along with Mr. Greenwood's prior history. I'll set your bond, sir, at $1,500. You're not to have any contact with Roland Green, and you can't return to 6131 Rocky Trail. All right, thank you.
Your Honor, we also ask for no weapons.
Yeah, Mr. Greenwood, you can't possess any weapons or any firearms while you're out on bond. Thank you, sir. Ma'am, good morning. Your name?
Teresa Jankovic.
This is 19 CF 7820. You were arrested for possession of cocaine and possession of drug paraphernalia. I find probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Your bond on count 1 is going to be $500. Your bond on count 2 will be $100. 19 CF 3284. I'm going to revoke your bond in that case, and I'll reset it at $1,500. I'll reset it. You're gonna have to.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Good morning, your name?
I'm Derek Kuntz. Good morning.
Mr. Kuntz, good morning. This is 19 MO 1041. You were arrested for camping, sir. I do find probable cause and will appoint the public defender. Is there an offer for Mr. Kuntz?
Did you adjudication and credit time served.
All right. Did you want to accept that offer this morning?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Sign the plea form, please.
Okay, thank you. What's on?
Were we appointed, Your Honor?
You were appointed.
Gets the crib for 3 days.
Good morning. Thank you. Mr. Kuntz, did you read the plea form before you signed it?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions about any of the rights that you're giving up?
No, ma'am.
Are you on probation?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand if you're not a United States citizen that this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court
No,
today?
ma'am.
All right, sir, I will accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 3 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 3 days' time served. You'll also have to pay court costs. Those need to be paid by June 3rd of 2020, and you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing.
Thank you,
All
Judge.
right, thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you Mr. Johnston?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. This is 19 MM 4331. Mr. Nguyen?
Oh,
State has no objection, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Johnson, I'm going to grant your motion.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome, sir. You need to make sure that you stay in contact with your attorney so that you don't miss your court date.
Yes,
If you miss
ma'am.
your court date, they'll issue a warrant for your arrest and it'll have no bond.
Do I still have the same court date as originally appointed to me, 7/11?
I'm not sure.
I'll find out, ma'am.
Okay, make sure you do.
Ma'am, thank you so much.
Okay. Good morning. Are you Mr. Boyd? This is 19 CF 7764. You were arrested for grand theft 3rd degree pursuant to a warrant where probable cause was previously found. I'll appoint the public defender. You are not to return to 3508 Sutton Drive or have any contact with Brian Wilmer. Your bond is $1,000, sir. Good morning. Are you Mr. Quintero?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, this is 18 CF 8568. You failed to appear for a motion on April 4th of this year. Your bond is currently set at none, and I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you if they were not previously appointed.
I have a private.
Okay. You'll need to get in contact with your attorney to file a bond motion, sir, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you. Sir, good morning. Tell me your name, please.
Jose MC Dino Moreno.
This is case number 19 CF 7823. You were arrested for uttering a forged check. There is probable cause. I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Your bond is $1,000, sir.
Mr. Cimarero, it's well, Mr. Cimarero's inquiring as to PTR as to why he wouldn't qualify. It's no he has no Florida arrest history, and the out-of-state history he indicated was 25 years old. Sarah?
During PTR, he indicated he was moving back to South Carolina. During his PTR interview, he indicated he was relocating back to South Carolina.
When are you? Okay, so could we qualify him for PTR if he?
Does he have a local address?
Do you have a local
Yeah,
address?
I'm staying here until I get done all this. Then
Okay.
when I get finished.
I'll do bond or PTR if you qualify, okay? So your bond is $1,000, but if you qualify for pretrial release, you can do that, sir. Okay?
Or it's $1,000 bond. They'll talk to you.
Good morning. Are you Mr. Drew? Sir, this is 19 CF 7803. You were arrested for possession of cocaine and possession of cannabis less than 20 grams. I do find probable cause. I will appoint the public defender. Sir, you can't return to the Walmart at 5734 South Orange Blossom Trail. I'm going to release you on your own recognizance at this time. You need to make sure that you stay in contact with your attorney and that your address is updated with the clerk of the court so you get notice of your court date. Otherwise, they'll issue a warrant for your arrest with no bond.
Yes, ma'am.
Your
Okay.
state requests RUA through PTR. Mr. Drew? No, I'm sorry, I thought PTR.
Okay, all right, that's reasonable based upon the facts. Mr. Drew, I'm also gonna order that you are to be randomly tested through PTR while you're out, waiting for your case, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. No, ROR, but with you guys. Yep. Morning, sir, your name?
Ali Felton?
Mr. Felton, you're here in 19 CF 7699. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant where probable cause was previously found for the offense of grand theft second degree, $20,000 or more. You are not to return to the Orlando Watch Company at 326 North Park Avenue. Your bond is $10,000, and I will take no action on 19 CF 4183. Yes. Good morning, your name?
Sharindale Purdy.
Ms. Purdy, you were here in case number 18 CF 17212. You failed to appear for a pretrial conference or a plea on May 24th of 2018. At this time, your bond is set at none, and I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you.
Your Honor, just for the record, she has indicated that at the time of the FTA, she was located in the jail, so
Okay.
I don't know if that changed anything.
If you want to maybe reach out to, can we verify that? Jenny? Okay, so the date would be 5/24/2018. Of 2018? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Were you in Orange County Jail?
What day?
May 24th of 2018.
It's not saying, I don't know what the charge is, I don't know, it doesn't tell.
No, okay. She was not in this jail on that date, okay?
Okay, I got
Thank you,
you.
ma'am.
Thank
You'll have to have your attorney file a bond motion. Good morning, sir. Your name?
Lorenzo Johnson.
Sir, this is 19 CF 6512. You were arrested for burglary of a dwelling grand theft, third degree, and criminal mischief pursuant to a warrant or probable cause was previously found. I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You also have 19 CF 7821. You were arrested for possession of ecstasy. There is probable cause, and I'll appoint the public defender in that case as well. Your bond in that matter is $1,000. In 19 CF 6512, count 1, your bond is $5,000. Your bond on count 2 is $1,000. Bond on count 3 is $1,000. And you are not to return to 3301 Lewis Court or to have any contact with Lawrence Humphrey. 19 CF 4249, I'll take no action on that matter. Good morning. Are you Mr. Mathis? Sir, you were here in 19 CF 7832. You were arrested for possession of a controlled substance with intent to sell and possession of methamphetamine. And state and defense, you've stipulated to PC on count 1 for possession of a controlled substance. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And then count 2, there's probable cause for possession of methamphetamine. I'm going to set bond on count 1 at $500. Bond on count 2 will be $150. I will appoint the public defender. Yeah, that's fine. Good morning, your name?
Carlos de Maza Flores.
Sir, you're here in case number 19 CF 7813. You were arrested for grand theft, third degree of a motor vehicle and providing false ID to a law enforcement officer. There is probable cause. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. Your bond on count 1 is going to be $2,500, and your bond on count 2 will be $500.
Texas.
Good morning. Are you Mr. Mitchell?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, this is 19 CF 7333. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant where probable cause was previously found for the offenses of burglary of a dwelling, grand theft, third degree, fleeing and eluding, and driving while license revoked as a habitual offender. I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You are not to return to 3642 Trimaron Drive or the Estates at Lake Pickett subdivision. Your bond on count 1 is $5,000. Your bond on count 2 is $500. Your bond on count 3 is going to be $2,500. Bond on count 4 will be $150. Thank you, sir. Good morning. Your name, ma'am?
Tanya Morales.
Ms. Morales, this is 19 CF 7846. So this paperwork, I will appoint the public defender to represent you. It looks like she was already IA'd in Seminole. Because there's court minutes. It says defendant was present, probable cause was found, and they set bond. So, okay. So, ma'am, your bond, so, right, so that's what it's for. because I don't think you get an IA twice. Okay, all right, ma'am. Your bond on count one is $3,000. Your bond on, is $8,000, and bond on count two is $3,000, and I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. Okay, thank you. Because we have another one in here and over the line, and there's no court minutes. So I think that's different. Ma'am, good morning. Your name?
Maria Quinones.
This is case number 19 CF 7848. You were arrested for possession of synthetic cannabinoids. There is probable cause, and I will appoint the public defender to represent you. I'm gonna set your bond at $500, ma'am. Thank you. Sir, your name?
Robertson, Adrian.
This is 19 CF 7825. You were arrested for burglary of a conveyance and petty theft. There is probable cause, and I will appoint the public defender to represent you. You also have 19 MM 4570. You were arrested for petty theft and possession of drug paraphernalia. There's also probable cause for those offenses, and I'll also appoint the public defender in that case. In your first case, your bond on count one is $5,000, and your bond on count two is $100. And in the misdemeanor case, count one is $500, count two is $100.
We'd ask for no contact and no return.
Sir, you can't return to 4402 Lennox Boulevard or have any contact with Ray Walker, that's the alleged victim, and you also can't go back to the Dollar General. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Yes, okay, thank you. Good morning, sir. Your name?
George Russell.
Mr. Russell, this is 19 CF 7284. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant where probable cause was previously found for 2 counts of aggravated assault with a firearm and 2 counts of battery. Sir, were you going to hire an attorney to assist you, or do you want to see if you qualify for the public defender?
Well, I have an attorney.
Okay.
But he couldn't make it this morning.
Okay.
I don't want to be out of bed. I don't know anything about this stuff.
Sure. Who's your attorney?
Robert Kaczynski, he said he would visit me later today because we called him yesterday, but he is already at court today.
Sure.
But I don't want to outstep my bounds,
You're
upset
not.
anybody, but they,
Well, I just
no,
want
no,
to
no,
caution you
the
quickly,
bond, the
though.
bond is
Okay.
what they said was to talk to you about if that could be lowered.
I'm going to look at something, yes. I just don't want you to talk about any of your facts
Oh,
in your
no,
case
I,
today
no,
without your lawyer,
I don't
okay?
mean to be rude.
Mr. Russell, you live here in Apopka, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. How long have you lived there?
Over a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long have you lived in Central Florida?
Central Florida, since I've been 16 years old.
Okay. And you work here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Where do you work?
I'm self-employed. I do investments and stuff.
Okay. You don't plan on going anywhere?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
I'm in shock.
Okay.
So,
At this time, I'm going to set your bond on count one at $2,500.
okay.
Count two, I'm going to set at $2,500. Count three, 100, and count four, 100.
Okay.
Okay? I'm also gonna order that you're not to possess any weapons or any firearms. If you have a weapon or a firearm, you need to surrender that to the police department within 1 business day of your release. You're
Okay.
gonna have to call them to let them know if you have one to turn in, that you're coming. You can't just show up to the police station with your gun,
Yeah, no problem.
okay? You're not to have any contact with the alleged victims in the case, Josephine Mora or Leilani Sanchez, and you can't go back to the McDonald's at 10026 Curry Ford Road.
Yes, ma'am.
All right? Thank you, sir.
What do the information on the bond, who would I talk to about?
Did you write it down?
I don't have a pen.
Okay, maybe Mr. Wynn
sorry.
can help you with that. That's all right.
Can you,
I'll tell you again. So you got 2,500 on count 1, 2,500 on count 2, 100 on count 3, and 100 on count 4.
okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir.
Have a wonderful day.
Thank you. How about Mr. Thomas? All right, we'll reset Mr. Thomas. Good morning, ma'am. Are you Ms. Veretto?
Good morning.
This is case number 19 CF 7807. You were arrested for possession of cocaine. I find probable cause and will appoint the public defender's office to represent you. And at this time, ma'am, I'm going to place you on pretrial release.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
State still requests RUA. She's on PTRs.
All right. All right, I'm gonna order also, ma'am, that you're gonna have to submit to random your analysis through pretrial release while you're waiting the resolution of your case, okay?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Yes, you're gonna have to submit to random your analysis through pretrial release while you're on pretrial.
I have no problem with that.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
What about Dana Valeda? She found out? Oh, okay. Good morning, your name?
Modulus Williams.
Mr. Williams, you were here in case number 19 CF 7850. You were arrested for aggravated assault with a weapon without intent to kill. With the documents I have, I don't have probable cause.
Gunner State requests 24 hours.
Okay. Yeah, in the other case, they had found probable cause, like they'd taken her to court. So have you been to court yet on this case? This is your first time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I get a case number?
19 CF 7850. Mr. Williams, you were arrested on May 26th, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and you've been in Seminole County that whole time and you never saw a judge?
I had a first appeal, but they said they wouldn't go over my case until I was here.
Okay. right, I'll grant the state 24 hours, but I'm gonna, in the meantime, set a bond for Mr. Williams. His bond is gonna be $2,500. Sir, I'm gonna order, although I don't have the exact name or location, that you're not to have any contact with the alleged victim. You're not to return to the scene of the offense. You're not to possess any weapons or any firearms while you're out on bond. Okay?
You're on.
Yes, ma'am.
Just for the
And I'll
record.
appoint the public defender.
Right, just for the record, based on his already length of time of incarceration, we'd object to the 24 hours. Right, so,
State would have been put on notice that he's being held in Seminole County until he's brought over to Orange.
okay.
This is his initial appearance. I'm gonna grant them the 24 hours. He has a bond, Mr. Nguyen.
Okay.
If they don't have it tomorrow and he's still here, then he'll be released.
That's fine, we just.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Nguyen.
Thank you.
Sir, good morning. Your name?
Andres Borgia?
So you're here for an out-of-county warrant from Osceola County for a violation of probation, sir. It's alleged that you were tampering with your electronic monitoring equipment on May 30th of 2019 at 4:36 a.m. The police officer received a bracelet strap alert. They're alleging it's a violation of your community control. Your bond at this time, sir, will be set at none, and you will see Judge Whitehead in the next 7 to 10 days. Oh, you won't see Judge Whitehead. You'll see whoever the judge in Osceola County is who does the violations of probation, sir, okay? They're gonna take you down there. They have 24 hours to come pick you up. They'll probably come on Monday since it's the weekend.
They have 24 hours to pick me up? If they don't pick me up in 24
Not
hours?
including the weekend. They're gonna come pick you up, sir. Okay? Thank you. If they don't, for some reason, you'll come back and see me again. Good morning, your name?
Timothy Hall.
Mr. Hall, you're here for an out-of-county warrant from Lake County related to a reckless driving. Your bond is $8,000. If you're unable to post that bond, sir, Lake County will come pick you up and you'll see a judge when you get to Lake County.
Like in what time period?
Lake County has 72 hours to come pick you up, which is 3 days. That doesn't include the weekends.
Okay.
Oh, Lake County has 24? Oh.
It's a contiguous county.
Oh, it does, it is. All right, so it's 24 hours, sir. Thank you. Good morning, your name? Are you Mr. Harley? Mr. Harley, this is an out-of-county warrant from Seminole County related to grand theft. Your bond is set at none. And Orange County will come pick you up, sir. Seminole County will come and pick you up and you'll see a judge when you get there. All right, thank you. Good morning. Are you Mr. Williams? No? Okay, we'll reset Mr. Williams' case. Okay. Tell me your name, please.
Nikita Ferguson.
Okay, this is, yes. All right. State, what's your position on the motion?
We object.
You have an objection?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just give me a minute. State, have you had any contact with the alleged victim? Do you have any?
I don't know the answer to that.
Okay. Are you aware of any input from the Alleged victim.
We have 1 second.
Okay.
And Your Honor, just for full disclosure, the state attorney's office still writes notes in files. So without the file, I mean, I can look to see if they're online, but I will tell you that that is not a typical means of how things are written at the office at this point.
Okay.
I don't have any ASA notes tell me one way or the other online.
Go ahead, Mr. Nguyen, it's your motion.
Your Honor, here today on behalf of Nikita Fair Conacher, previously had bond set in the amount of $1,000 to $500 respectively with regards to her charges. As of today, no information has been filed, and she can't afford a bond in the case. She's contacted her family, who is also unable to help. Due to her incarceration, she's unable to work, to obtain money, to be able to bond herself out. She's not a flight risk, not a danger to the community, and does not have a substantial criminal history. Only failure to appear was a mistake, was one mistake. So she has only one failure to appear. She does have a place to reside if she is released. At this time, I guess I'll ask her to be sworn in.
Okay. Madam Clerk, can you swear the witness in, please?
Raise your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony about to give should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Miss Fair Conacher, do you have any money in a bank account anywhere?
No.
Savings or checking?
No.
Okay. Do you have any fine jewelry that you're able to pawn?
No.
Any other items you'd be able to pawn that are worth a substantial amount of money?
No.
You own a car?
No.
You own a house?
No.
Okay. And your parent? Do you have any immediate family in the area?
Yes, I do.
And are they able to post your bond for you?
No, they tried.
Okay, so they're unable to. And you have a place to stay once released?
Yes.
Okay, where would you be staying?
With my cousin.
Okay, do you know the address?
Yes.
Could you please read that into the record?
2034 West Pine Street, Orlando, Florida 32805.
Okay. And you promise to make it to all future court dates?
Yes.
Okay, no further questions, Your Honor.
State?
When was the last time you contacted your family regarding the bond?
I contacted my sister Wednesday after I talked to my public defender.
No further questions, just argument. It's your argument, it's your bond motion for your argument.
I have no further argument.
Okay. Your, Ms. Page, can you tell me the last failure to appear? I know you told me prior to court, but on the record, can you tell me the last failure to appear?
One moment. She was in custody on a failure to appear. That charge has been time served, and the failure to appear before that was from March 2015.
Okay,
So sorry. So she came in on a failure to appear for this charge, for another charge recently, and then has this charge as well, Your Honor. The charge that she currently just resolved, she pled on 5/16, so 2 weeks ago. That case was a DV battery by strangulation and a DV battery. That case, she received 12 days time served, but 3 years probation, mental health evaluation, anger management, no contact with the victim, no weapons, no firearms, community service hours on that case. This case, Your Honor, is a stalking case and a obscene or verbal telephone calls with a completely different victim. So in the last 6 months. She's had 2 stalking or one stalking and now one and a DV battery case. Your Honor, she, based on that and her currently being on probation and having an out-of-county hold of some sort, we'd ask that the defendant not be released on any non-monetary conditions.
Mr. Nguyen?
Your Honor, I have no response to the argument. No response to that, other than, she's testified to not, that she promises to make to court. Now, I am aware of the previous, she does have a child as well. She's informing, with regard to, and I guess, the state's argument is in regard to a danger to the community. I would note that the domestic violence charge was a DV charge, and is she still sworn in under oath?
She is.
Are you still with that previous charge? Are you in contact with the person that the incident occurred with? The most recent, I think it was a.
I don't know if that question is one that Mr. Nguyen wants actually.
Oh,
answered.
okay. Wait, is that resolved?
However, she's on probation for that case.
Okay, so there's still, so there's a no, there's no, so I'd imagine there's a no contact order in that case then. So there's no risk there of a danger to the community.
What's the VOP for, Jenny, in St. Lucie?
Thank you, State.
Ma'am, I'm gonna grant your motion, but I have some conditions. And she's entitled to a bond. She's testified that she can't afford the bond that's currently set at $1,500. Ma'am, is there any amount of bond that you can afford?
No, ma'am.
You understand that when you're finished with your case in St. Lucie County, because they're gonna come pick you up and they're gonna take you to St. Lucie County. And there's a no bond VOP? Okay.
And just for clarification, if you RR or PTR, they're gonna come pick her up before, they're not gonna wait till the case is resolved.
Right, no, I understand. When you're finished with your case in St. Lucie County, your case is still gonna be pending here, right? You're still on probation. So you have to come back here for your court date, okay? If you don't, they're gonna issue a warrant for your arrest, it's gonna be no bond, and you won't get a bond.
Yes, ma'am.
With respect to this case, you are not had any contact whatsoever with the alleged victim. You're not to return to her residence, and you're not to possess any weapons or any firearms. You're also not to possess or consume any alcohol or illegal substances, which I'm sure is probably incorporated in your probation order as well, but it'll be on this order too. Okay? All right. Thank you, ma'am. There'll be court minutes, right, for this, for all the conditions? No? Sir, good morning. Your name?
Jerry Christopher McCormick.
All right, Mr. McCormick. State what's your position as to Mr. McCormick?
No objection. Just make sure to no return as well, Your Honor.
Just a moment, Mr. McCormick. have the location? Does anyone have the location?
One moment. Happy Future LLC, 1240 East Colonial Drive, Orlando, Florida, 32803.
Thank you. Wait, I have 2751 South Chickasaw Trail.
Please hold.
Gerard McCormick. It's Championship Martial Arts.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. McCormick, I will grant your motion. As I stated earlier in court, make sure that your attorneys know how to get in contact with you and you stay in contact with them about your next court date. Otherwise, there'll be a warrant issued for your arrest and it won't have a bond. All right? You're not to return to 2751 South Chickasaw Trail, which is the Championship Martial Arts place, okay?
Okay, ma'am.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Good morning, your name?
Wesley Rush.
Mr. Rush. State what's your position?
State objects.
Okay. Mr. Rush's history. Please.
3 felony convictions, 3 misdemeanors, no FTAs, 1 DOC incarceration for burglary of a dwelling and grand theft.
Okay. So those are the 2 felony convictions, and there was a third.
Possession of a controlled substance.
Okay. And no failures to appear?
No failure to appears.
Okay. Did you want to have your client sworn?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Mr. Rush, do you have any money in any savings accounts or checking account, anything?
No, sir.
Do you possess any cash?
No, sir.
Okay. Do you have any items that would be valuable that you'd be able to pawn to obtain money?
No, sir.
Okay. Do you own a car?
No, sir.
Do you own a house?
No, sir.
Do you have any investments?
No, sir.
Okay. Have you tried? Do you have any family in the area?
No, sir.
Okay, no family. And you have a place to stay once released?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you know that address?
252 Clark Street, sir. It's on my ID.
Okay. And you are employed?
Yes, sir.
Okay. No further questions, Your Honor.
State?
Have you attempted to contact anybody to help post your bond? Not a family member, friend, acquaintance?
My mother and grandmother died, and I don't know where my brothers and sisters are, ma'am, so I really don't have nobody out here but myself. That's why I'm just only self-employed.
And who lives at the address with you?
Actually, it's like a rooming house. I rent a room out there.
And where are you employed?
Actually, I work for Randy Bookman. I do a landscaping.
How long have you been employed there?
Actually, I've been knowing him for the last like 10 years, and right now I've been doing it for the last year right now, on and off.
How much do you earn per week?
I usually earn at least $250 to $300 per week.
How much is your rent?
I only spend $100 a week.
No further questions.
Anything else, Mr. Nguyen?
No further questions, Your Honor.
Argument, Your Honor, state would request that, no objection to lowering the bond. However, state would object because of the nature of the offense to releasing him without having to post any monetary release. We'd ask for no contact, no weapons, no firearms, no drugs, no alcohol.
No problem. I would never do it again. I promise. I won't.
All right, Mr. Rush, I'm going to grant your motion
Thank you so much. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you. You ain't got to worry about me again.
based upon the testimony here in court this morning. Sir, you are not to return to the Chase Bank
Yes,
at
yes.
7, Mr. Rush, just let me talk and explain to you your conditions, okay? You're not to return to the Chase Bank at 7315 University Boulevard. You are not to return to the 7-Eleven at 6305 University Boulevard. You're not to have any contact with Robert Gerd. You are not to possess any weapon. He's the alleged victim. You're not to possess any weapons or any firearms while you're out on bond, and you're not to possess or consume any alcohol or any drugs.
Can I ask just a question?
Yes.
To be honest with you, I have a good friend there. Her name is Lisa that works at 7-Eleven. So in my daily time, I help her clean the parking lots and take out the trash.
You can't go there.
But can I just go get my belongings? Because that's where all my stuff is. It's at that 7-Eleven. The police gave her my backpack and my black bag, and all my stuff is in her trunk. Is it?
Okay.
No objection to a one-time return
All right.
with law enforcement.
You can go. If
Yeah,
you
just
call
all
the
the day.
police, let them
And
know. Just let me finish. You have to call the police, let them know that you need to go pick up your belongings from the 7-Eleven, okay? And they'll go out there with you and allow you to get your things. That's the only time that you can go back there. So you can stay here if you want.
Yes,
All right?
ma'am.
That's the order. So if you come back through with something else and you're at the 7-Eleven, other than the one time with the law enforcement, I'm revoking the bond and it will be none. I'm giving you an opportunity.
Yes, ma'am.
All right? All right, thank you, sir. Ma'am, good morning. Your name?
Catherine Todd.
Ms. Todd, this is 19 MM 4410. State, what's your position?
No objection.
All right, just give me a moment. What's Ms. Todd charged with?
She's charged with trespass of a dwelling and possession of drug paraphernalia, Your Honor.
Okay.
I believe they were sleeping in an unoccupied vacant home
Okay.
for the allegation.
Ms. Todd, I'm going to grant your motion.
Yes, ma'am.
You're not to return to the scene, and you're not to possess or consume any drugs or alcohol while out on bond, okay? Make sure that you stay in contact with your lawyer so that you know when your next court date is.
Of course.
If you miss court, they'll issue a no bond warrant for your arrest.
Of course.
Okay? Thank you. Good morning, your name?
Good morning, ma'am. My name is Al Wardley.
Okay, Mr. Wardley, say what's your position?
No objection.
What's Mr. Wardley charged with?
Providing false ID to law enforcement, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Wardley, I'm gonna grant your motion. As I just told the other woman, make sure you stay in contact with your lawyer.
Yes, ma'am.
And that they have your address and that you get notice of your court date, otherwise they'll issue a no bond warrant for
Yes,
your
ma'am.
arrest, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right. 33 days. Stay, just let me know when you're ready on the 33-day motions.
State is ready.
Okay. 19 3548.
That should be denied. The state filed information on 530.
CF 5908 Boris Camejo.
That should be denied. The state filed information on 530.
CF 5364 Sonoya Sanders.
That should be granted. The state filed a notice of non-filing before the 33rd day on 530.
CF 5464 David Delgado.
That should be granted. The state filed a notice of non-filing before the 33rd day on 530.
CF 6187 David Goins.
That should be denied. The state filed an information and a request to transfer from felony to misdemeanor on 524.
That's denied. 3510 Larry Odoms.
That should be denied. The state filed an information on 530.
That's denied. CF 6050 Terrence Garrett.
That should be denied. The state filed an information on 530.
That'll be denied. CF 6061 Willie Manning.
That should be granted. The state filed a notice of non-filing before the 33rd day on 530.
That'll be granted. CF 6058 Antoine Atkins.
That should be denied. The state filed an information on 530.
That'll be denied. CF 6020 Antoine Atkins.
That should be granted. The state filed a notice of non-filing before the 33rd day on 530.
Okay. How much time does everyone else need? I need like 15 minutes. Is that okay with everyone?
It works.
Okay, then we'll be in recess for 15 minutes. Good morning, this is Judge Amy Carter. This is Courtroom 1, Session 2. Could I have the attorneys place their appearances on the record, please?
Coffee Kennedy Swanson on behalf of the Office of the State Attorney.
Brian Wynn on behalf of the Office of Public Defender.
Thank you. Good morning, your name?
Halima Ali. Good morning.
Ma'am, you're here in case number 19 CF 7841. You were arrested for battery on a law enforcement officer and resisting officer without violence. I do find probable cause. I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you. At this time, your bond on count 1 is $5,000 and your bond on count 2 is $200. Thank you, ma'am. Okay. Oh, thank you. Sir, good morning. Are you Mr. Culver?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Sir, this is case number 19 CF 7844. You were arrested for driving while license suspended or revoked as a habitual offender. There is probable cause. Were you going to hire your own attorney, sir, or do you want to see if you qualify?
I was hiring a private attorney.
Okay. All right, sir. Your bond in that case is $2,500. In case number 19 CF 3858, I'm going to revoke your bond at this time, and that will be set at $1,000.
Why would you revoke the bond?
Well, sir, because you were here on March 19th and arrested for driving while license suspended or revoked as a habitual offender, and now you're here on May 31st, again, before the court for the offense of driving while license suspended or revoked as a habitual offender. So that's why.
Is there any kind of way that my bond may remain that, well, I don't have anyone at my house, and
Sir, I can't help you with that. You're gonna have to talk to your lawyer. I was gonna revoke your bond, but I'm gonna just double it at this time, so that's where we're at, okay? Thank you.
so I have a bond that's just
You do.
higher.
You have a bond on both of your cases.
I can't, the amount, is there any kind of way you can lower the amount?
I cannot at this time, no. Thank you. Ma'am, good morning. Your name?
Kiara Harper.
Ms. Harper, you're here in case number 19 CF 7836. Excuse me, you were arrested for grand theft, third degree of a motor vehicle, and trespass in a conveyance. I find probable cause for both of the offenses. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. Your
But-
bond on count one is $1,000.
I don't even know how to drive.
Ma'am, please don't interrupt me, okay? I'm just telling you what your bond amount is, and you'll be able to talk to your attorney about any defenses that you may have. Your bond on count one is $1,000. Your bond on count two is $100. Thank you.
Who else has for no return for the trespass?
It's,
Or is it just the
I
car?
thought it was the car.
All right, we'll draw that, Your Honor.
Thank you. Okay. Sure. You, Mr. McDonald?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. McDonald, you're here in 19 CF 7845. You were arrested for possession of cocaine. I find probable cause. Your affidavit seeking appointment of the public defender states you make $1,000 every 2 weeks. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and that's after taxes? Is that your take-home pay?
Yeah,
Okay, and you don't have any family members or kids that you take care of?
I do not.
All right, so you're gonna have to hire a lawyer, try to hire a lawyer to help you with this case. If you're unable to do so when you go back to your next court date, explain that to the judge and you can revisit that issue.
My roommate, he's a lawyer.
Okay.
Who does that? Like,
You can hire your roommate.
okay.
Okay. That's up to you. You can hire whatever
Yeah,
lawyer you want.
I
As
think
long as
that
they're
would
allowed
be-
to practice the law in the state of Florida, you can hire them. Okay? Your bond is $1,000, and I'm not gonna take any action on 19 CF 5368. Thank you, sir. Mr. I'm gonna appoint your office. Do you want me to reset his case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, we'll appoint the public defender and reset that. Sir, your name?
Norris?
Mr. Norris, you are here in 19 CF 7842. You were arrested for possession of methamphetamine, possession of ecstasy, and providing false ID to law enforcement, as well as possession of drug paraphernalia. I find probable cause for the offenses. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. Your bond will be stayed as to all counts at 1,000 on count one, 150 on count two, and 100 on counts 3 and counts 4. What's going on with the out on bond case? Has that been filed on?
Have one moment, Your Honor.
Sure.
That's the 19 CF 2606 case?
Yes.
So he has not made a charging decision on that case, Your Honor.
Okay. At this time, I'm not going to revoke the bond on that case. I'll take no action. Thank you, sir. You, Mr. Terry?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
You are here in case number 19 CF 7837. You were arrested for fleeing and eluding and driving while license suspended or revoked. I do find probable cause for those offenses. I'll appoint the public defender in each case this morning. Your bond on count 1 is going to be $3,500. Bond on count 2, I'll set at $500. You also have an on-view violation of probation for a case out of Seminole County. Based upon the facts in this case, I do find probable cause for that. I'm gonna set the bond at none in that matter. Is it 2 separate violations of probation cases? No? Okay, all right. Just the one, okay. Thank you, sir. Good morning, your name?
Zachary Starlin.
Tell me your name again?
Zachary Starlin.
I did have, Wachek? Okay, thank you. And then Williams? And Siplin? All right, well. He has a bond, so he can bond out. All right, reset Mr. Siplin's case. Mr. Starlin?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, you were arrested for driving under the influence. I do find probable cause. Excuse me, I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you, sir, and at this time I'm going to place you on pretrial release.
Okay.
Thank you. You, Mr. Thomas?
Yes.
Mr. Thomas, you're here in 19 MM 4579. You were arrested for trespass on property after warning. There's probable cause. I will appoint the public defender. Was there an offer for Mr. Thomas?
The state has relayed an offer to me, Your Honor, of a credit time served, no return to the scene, and court costs.
Okay.
And do you want to?
You want to accept the offer, Mr. Thomas?
Yes.
Okay, please sign the plea form.
Okay, what do I sign?
Did Miss Bates bond out?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Mr. Thomas, did you read the plea form before you signed it? They usually give you a copy in the back. Yeah.
Test.
Okay. Do you have any questions on any of the rights on the plea form?
No, I think I understand pretty well.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me about the plea form? Okay. Are you on probation?
No, I'm not on probation.
Do you understand if you're not a United States citizen that this plea will subject you to deportation?
I am a United States citizen.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court this morning?
I have not taken any drugs, alcohol, or anything. Okay.
All right, sir, I'll accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 1 day in the Orange County Jail with credit for 1 day time served. You're not to return to the Lynx bus station at 455 North Garland Avenue. You'll have to pay court costs. Those need to be paid by June 3rd of 2020, and you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing. Thank you, sir. Good morning, Mr. Walker.
Good morning.
Mr. Walker, this is 19 MM 4576. You were arrested for carrying a concealed weapon and trespass in a dwelling after warning. There's probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender. Was there an offer for Mr. Walker?
There's not, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Walker, at this time, I did appoint the public defender. Your bond on count 1 is $500, and your bond on count 2 is $100. Thank you, sir. Sure. This is 19 CF 7851. Sir, you were arrested for possession of a hallucinogen with intent to sell or manufacture or deliver, loitering and prowling, and resisting officer without violence. Mr. Nguyen, you had some probable cause issues with this case?
Yes, Your Honor. With regards to the intent to sell, I think the state and I have stipulated with just possession of a controlled substance or possession of a, I have controlled substance here, but if you say an hallucinogen or whatever, that,
Any other issues?
no other issues, Your Honor.
Okay.
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right. All right, I'll find probable cause for the lesser included of possession of a controlled substance, the loitering and prowling, and the resisting officer without. Count 1 bond is $500, count 2 $100, and count 3 $100. Right. Thank you, sir. Anything else?
That is it, Your Honor.
All right, we'll be in recess.